such just had a baby and she made it and they named it now, right?
Wow.
And that was people like us helping these women have these babies, right? I watched, they were so, I mean, they would start fires over here, you understand? They would, I mean, I don't know, you had to be there. There's so much of it I forgot, and I want to forget it.
Yeah.
And there's so much of it that sticks in the back of my mind every day, you know. And then as far as I was there today, Governor Blanco, President Bush, and Ray Nagin flew over, and the crowd wasn't happy. They had signs, they were showing them dead bodies, saying, "Get us out of here, this could be one of your family members." Right? So, I mean, think about it. Why leave these people there that long? No food, no water, no medical supplies. They wasn't equipped. They should have never told anybody to go there if they wasn't equipped for that.
Did you see Fats Domino there?
No, I never.
Yeah, everybody said that he went there.
I heard rumors, but that...
He did.
He did go.
He did.
I heard rumors.
His right-hand man is a friend of one of my friends, and he was there too. And he's like really smaller, but he actually helped carry him out onto the bridge, or they brought him to the hospital. I think he went to the hospital.
He's up in age, isn't he?
Yeah.
He's about 80 now.
We can show you his house. I'll show you his house.
I heard he was in there.
I'd like to see it again.
He probably has a pink FEMA trailer.
Yeah.
I heard he was in there, but you got to understand, when you went there, you were trying to stay alive,
yeah,
right?
That's right. There was no...
You were trying to stay alive, and you would hear this one was, there were so many people. I mean, I don't know, I'd like for you to see the ledge of where we stood on the balconies, which is the balcony surrounds the Superdome, and the upper ramp, right? And they never had no shade for you. People were climbing under the military trucks. Another thing I don't understand is when the food finally got there, when they passed out the food, they got in the military trucks where 3 or 4 of them would be in there throwing the food out like a Mardi Gras parade, and while you had an M16 pointed at you where the soldiers rode right there, right? So you had to get in this crowd and go fight to get an MRE.
Yeah, who were they shooting if they weren't taking care of any of the people who were doing drugs and...
I watched it with my own 2 eyes where they could have... It would have been so easy.
They were protecting themselves, basically?
They were definitely protecting themselves because the people were getting aggravated with it and they were turning against them, going up against the military. Right? Get us out of here. Why? Well, y'all keeping us here, right? And as far as going back to what I said a minute ago, the situation where they looted could have been stopped so easily. So easily they could have put MPs right there. When you went up to where I told you I took this tour and you went in the suite, you had to walk up and go through. There was 2 ways in there and 2 ways out. You went up escalators and it brought you right there. And you want to know when I went through, a couple young gangsters sitting there asking if you wanted dope when you went through it. Right? And I went up there with a black man. No other white people went up there. I walked up there with a black man and he brought me on the tour. And they even was joking and saying, I hope you ain't 5-0, all right, when I went up there. And they let me in because I was with a black fella. But how hard would it have been to put 2 military men there with M16s?
Oh, yeah.
All right, that was another thing. They were definitely unprofessional. Pray to God they're doing better in the Middle East. Because I can tell you what, I watched where there was a lack of training. Well,
think about this. They were following somebody's orders implicitly, so maybe they had to refrain.
What? Going there, like you said, the orders come from the White House. You understand? So they were definitely following somebody's orders, and they were definitely... You took the words out of my mouth, right? As far as we heard, I mean, not only that, there were so many rumors going throughout the United States, nobody wanted to take people from there. You understand? I heard 3 states declined. That's why I was sitting in there.
Was it true that, in fact, New Orleans people that needed help, evacuees, were shooting at helicopters and so forth that were trying to rescue everybody?
I seen that, but I think that came from people that were didn't care. Like I said, there's the wicked and the weak, and people were taking advantage of the situation and trying to better themselves, stealing, all right, looting, and they didn't want to leave. And yes, they were shooting at the helicopters. Then they had all the reason in the world to shoot back. And the convention center, we were getting people coming in from the convention center to the dome saying that they were killing in there over food. So you had people coming from the convention center that watched shootings over that. I heard at one time the military backed out because there was a lack of manpower from the gunshot that went on there, and I heard the gunshot from the dome. The convention center is probably not even half a mile from the dome. As far as going back to what you said, yes, I watched the shootings. I watched back and forth. I watched the city burning down at night, listening to the gunshots everywhere.
So, was there electricity working in the dome?
There was generators after the electricity got knocked out at nighttime. There were generators with a dim light. There were sections in there that were dark.
No wonder.
Yeah, they had sections in there where you couldn't see your hand in front of your face. That was another problem when they first started this food line. The elderly people were scared. You know dang well it's bad. Out of 65,000 people, you had probably 500 white people, all right? And not racial, but you know it's bad when I was sitting on a football field and a black man asked me to walk into the bathroom, all right? Because he said, he said he was scared. So it was, I had a man, and going back to what you mentioned earlier about the people that are missing now, right? And I felt this, it wasn't hard to figure out. They had a guy that told me I ain't getting on the buses, I'm going back to my house. And I said, listen to me good. If I was you, I'd get on the first bus I can get on. I said, when they get everybody out of this dome, anybody that stays behind, after this, there's no water, there's no electricity, no food, no sewage. I said, where are you going to go? I said, anybody that stays behind, you can bet one thing, they're going through these streets. They're staying behind to protect what they stole or to steal more. You better get on a bus.
Commit a crime.
Yeah, you better get out of here. Because they're not going to play, they're going to go through here and kill. Because there was a lot of ignorance in that. There was a lot of people doing stuff that they shouldn't be doing. But don't get me wrong, at times it was comical. You couldn't do nothing but laugh. I sat right there, and the little kids would like break into the locker rooms, and you'd hear them with the halftime stuff blowing horns.
Oh, yeah.
All right. So you had time where you couldn't do nothing but laugh. All right. Then they would have times where it would be 2 or 3 hours of peaceful and quietness. All right. Then you might hear a gunshot over here, and then the violence would break out again. And so it went through. It was from up and down, and then the people. So many people I met, they couldn't handle it. It just like where your suicides come in.
So several people actually did kill themselves. There was a rumor that somebody was going to jump off the top of the dome.
I never seen that on the outside of the dome. I seen a man jump off of where I was sitting. I watched. I never saw him jump off. I left